tense.
It's
like,
Are we live again? Let's see.
I'm just gonna keep like that. Like it.
I assume we are live with no viewers. They all left us.
I don't see it.
No?
Like
working?
The microphone is working now, yeah. We are live for...
well, there is a
Dreamkin is joining us, so we are live.
I think it's just a default microphone that is changing.
What?
Go to the Windows settings and pick the microphone again. While restarting the stream.
And now you say that instead of...
Yeah, because I didn't want to interrupt your effort.
interrupt your turning off the stream.
I would be like, I don't know, I would be shit if I would mess it up, but it would not work. Like, you know, if it's not working when I try, then I'm like, shame on me.
Does the chat have any questions now? I'm running out of topics, but let's talk about going into the grand final. Did you expect...
Last question was what we are doing, like, in real life.
Yeah.
I think only these two guys answered and manually fucked it up. I don't know one either yet.
So, a lot of viewers, what I do in real life is I study psychology. That's it.
Yeah, I'm doing an apprenticeship for becoming a systems integrator.
Systems what?
What's that? I don't even know what that word is. That's the
go on.
Yeah.
I'm studying graphism, so I can help out with graphism things now.
I'm studying French and politics. I'm nearly done with my bachelor, and after that, I plan to do another bachelor in financial engineering. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't try that.
I'm jobless, yeah.
He is an English teacher, and his students love Karl Embran.
You can get some tips from him.
But before the grand
Yeah,
final...
but it's different in Germany. Applying.
Very probably.
Yeah. So any topic, the
Before
chat.
the grand final, did you expect the Carl Jr. field to win? And Carl Jr. and Brett? Or did you think that the big chance that they would lose?
Yeah. So in your Discord, I did bet on them, but that was my realistic vote. But I was optimistic that Spam and Roland will make it to the grand final, as well as Matt and Revolution, and they will have a battle. But I mean, the Go team alongside with Peck and Aurel, as well as the Solary team, they just played out of their mind. They played really good. So in the end of the day, it would be lucky if one of the other teams would win, because they just played. They deserved it. I mean, it was close in the ending for the second place, but yeah, it was just a nice match. And yeah, you just have to be realistic that Carl Jr. and Brent just played out of their mind.
Yeah, I thought Peck and Aurel were gonna win, and then we saw Aurel like choking a lot in semifinals. He couldn't finish it off against Spam and Roland. So like it was kind of obvious that they weren't gonna perform so well. So yeah, I mean Karl and Bran were the other favorites, so it was kind of expected for me.
I think I really was hyped for like the rolling and spam comeback during the second round. That was so epic. They were far behind at the beginning, but in the end they catched up so incredibly well. Maybe because of the rigged point system, but in the end they nearly by like a centimeter rolling got denied. That was very unfortunate. I was very sad about that. I was really looking forward to seeing a Team Matt versus Team Rolling match in the finals. But yeah, that was like a really sick moment. And another cool moment for me was when Matt did that ramp cut on that map. That was like probably also one of the best moments for me. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't really.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask him because of the ramp or something.
So I was like going on
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
top.
yeah.
The fifth time in a row we're supposed to answer a ramp up question.
I didn't really follow everything that was going on. Like I was watching some bits, and then I was like, oh yeah, there's the players there. I'm gonna film them, so I don't really know what happened most of the time. Yeah. So yeah, I don't have much to say about that, like qualification for the grand final.
So Matt, how do you feel about the ramp cup? Ramp cut. Like
Ramp cup?
yeah, the cup. The cut. Like how was it for you?
It was luck. I always do that. When I fail to start, it's either everything or nothing. If I would do the safe strat for the jump, I would be even further behind because I saved it too much. I did that ramp cut and with no expectation of it because I jumped too far to the right, and somehow my back right wheel lands on the border and grips perfectly, and all the speed is kept, and the angle is perfect to keep going. The setup for it was perfect. I just jumped too far. I couldn't believe it worked. I choked the parasols after, but I didn't even think it was that good. Right after I did the ramp cut, I was basically looking at Ravo's screen because I was wanting to see, like, to compare my car to his car to see if I was kind of close to where his car was, because I was trying to see if I catched up the difference I had lost to them on the first 10 seconds of the map. And when I noticed I was fifth again, and I was first again out of nowhere. It just worked.
So when you did that, the cheer in the crowd was pretty high. But did you experience it? You said during the event to me that the noise canceling headset was working, but was it working 100%, or did you actually hear some reaction from the crowd?
Uh, I think most of the time on the challenges we could hear the crowd real well, and sometimes it even was capturing through Ravel's mic for some reason the crowd. Well, it was especially on Brand's and Carl's moments that we could end up hearing it. I didn't notice the crowd when I did the flip or anything. Not even on the stream, I could hear it loud. It was just maybe a oh, and ended in 1 second. It, my experience was just I was focused on the monitor and I didn't see anything else apart from that. I wanted to have paid more attention to it, but I was just too focused.
Are you gonna rewatch the final, or have you already done that?
I have rewatched already a lot of bits from it. I kept awake till 5 a.m. just watching the VOD, bits of the VOD just randomly back and forth, jumping with that horrible Wi-Fi that's free. Thanks to Knock that gifted me a sub on ZeratoR. But just seeing everything I did wrong, seeing my horrible performance on so many maps on the finals and still being there somehow, and I don't know, always pay attention to how fucking weird I looked on the stage, just like just seeing me trying to breathe normally and almost passing out, my eyes going up and the eyes closing, only seeing my eyeballs white, totally handling the pressure. Yeah.
So what's next for you? First time in Europe, first time at the offline event. What is next for the competitive player, Matt?
What is what?
What is next? Like, do you have any events planned in the future? Online, offline events, Trackmania events?
No. Oh no. Yeah, Keke I always end up playing it, but I never played it up to a point that I hunt for it to win. I just play it for fun. Mostly I try to play it always for fun. My maps are always so fucking weird when I try to map for it, so it's rigged if I do maps for that. The only thing I keep looking after for Trackmania is basically Shitfest. Shitfest Monday 8 p.m. It's kind of a feel for me because I know at least one day per week there's something I want to play on Trackmania. WTC, the Tech Nations Cup, I had no motivation to play it, even though I am on the lineup. Any other stuff? I don't know. Sears Cup, I looked at the maps and I thought they were too friendly. I didn't want to play them. Other things, I don't know. There's a trial cup with prize money apparently on TM2 with but it will start like in 6th July, so we'll miss the first map. And there's prize money for who finishes first and for who gets the best locals. So that might be some extra money I could get there. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I like stuff with trial, but that's basically it. I I don't have much focus on Trackmania. My focus right now kind of lays on maybe trying to stream. But if I have no focus on what to play, what even do I stream? I don't plan much forward. I, I should, but I don't.
So the winner of the cup, Bren, is now moving to Australia for a year. He says he won't play Trackmania there, or most likely not play Trackmania there. But you don't watch. The interview is not up yet, but the podcast is up, so you check that out. But do you think that he will eventually come back? He says that he will come back, but 1 year away can change a lot. Will we see Bren at ZrT Cup 2020? Quick yes and no, I guess. And if someone has a good opinion, just use that good opinion.
1 year starting now.
He moves soon, yeah.
So if he will be here,
Next year.
but I think so.
If he comes back in time, he will play. If not, then not.
Yeah, he will be back at this date.
Yeah, I think he will. Yeah, most probably.
Yeah, I also think so.
I think he will play, but he will not qualify because he's rusty.
I think he's gonna make it a few months without playing TM and then go back to it when he's in Australia and qualify.
Yeah, it's his life.
Who is the best player to not be at the ZrT Cup now? Like the best ZrT player?
Plasto. Yeah. It's a switch between Plasto and Ryza. Both of them are fucking sick. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just agree to Matt. No, Massa is like really good, but not as good as Blasto or so.
Should learn to mute to the left.
Yeah, well, Plasterex like last year was really good with him, so yeah, it's too bad that this year he couldn't qualify there.
Noak, the Insane, and of course Plasto 6.
So I mean, there are a few names that came into my mind. Maybe even Riolo, who qualified way back then, as well as Raysans, who has the pace and also the learning experience. He can learn maps that fast. That's insane. And of course, Insane and Nog are very good too. Trained with them a lot. And yeah, but nothing goes over Plastrex. Just keep in mind, he just qualified almost on his own. It was just yeah, insane.
It's Levon, dude. Levon could win it all, like easily, but he didn't play, so I'm sad. Levon 2020, let's go.
Yeah, Nook, Levin, Plasto, Ziza, Monty, Nong. Nong has his chances. I think Nong should just register next year. We need to have Nong. We need to have me too. I mean, I was really disappointed. I played so well, and I didn't even made it until the first round. And next year it will not be duo because my duo ruined it. Like I was playing with Tomatoes. Tom, you are really awful. And yeah, we didn't make it. Like we didn't pass the register step. Like it was too difficult for us. So that's why we didn't make it. But I'll be there next year.
Anybody has some questions? I mean, you're 8 people here. Someone else wants to ask someone here a question? I don't know.
Who are the men at the left and the woman?
Who are the men on the left? What is left?
Left is
Let's take the intro quick. Just name.
again. Matt.
Asteri.
Amangel.
Nick Lander.
I'm not saying YouTube channel have Turbo.
Back in.
Ziza.
But are there any questions you guys have for each other?
Is Bowler Mayhem?
It's Bowler Mayhem.
Yeah, either Mayhem or Scotty.
Okay, either Mayhem or Scotty. Okay.
Ask Matt how was the support from the London team.
Yeah, what's the deal there? Because we are supported by elementaries now, but basically ZeratoR pays the trip. So what support do you get from elementaries?
I got a shirt. Yeah, that's it. Like there was no contract, there was no anything. I got a shirt. That's it.
Basically free advertising for them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a shirt at least.
At least they can't take your prize money.
They no, I have no contract.
Yeah.
That's I get the prize money, but I don't know. Apparently they sent contracts to Turbo and Marius, but not to me. I don't know what was the deal. It was like I said, yeah, they agreed with that. No deal, a contract needed or anything. It made no sense. There's no consistency, but I don't know. They were cool guys. The manager are pretty cool guys. The Flex even tried making a video. It was pretty good by their part. Uh, that's it. The support I got so resumes to the shirt and the video Flex did.
So if you play next cup, ZeratoR plays for a ticket. If I make your shirt, will you pay for Huntmania then?
Could be.
Okay. We see a lot of new people like Dofalt, Glass also made it. Do you think that next year we'll see maybe some surprises that because we see Carl Jr. now is 6th grand final, Bran is 5th grand final. Is it time to see some new faces in the grand final? You're really eager to take this.
He's gonna say true, bro.
Yeah.
So I've casted the Royal Cup, and what I can say about Gren is that he's just playing out of his mind. I think the first time I've really seen him playing was this year, but he's just so good. I mean, he didn't do the best in the semi-final, but maybe it was the first time for him being on stage. So I think Gren will have a saying next year. He will be very, very what?
Any questions?
Questions, yeah. And maybe some other guys that we are not considering at the moment because there are a lot of Frenchies, a lot of French players that are really, really good. For example, who really surprised me this year and knocked Marius and me out was Ben Sword. He played so good. And as well as other guys, like Across, for example, who went in the quarterfinal and just, won it. But unfortunately, his mate Mamler wasn't playing the best there.
I guess some of the duos that I'm looking forward to next year is not only Mind Thread that is Glass and Default, but the Lego duo. Because at the first times, for example, if you look at my first performance on ZeratoR, I didn't show up or anything. 2017, I didn't even qualify to the quarterfinals. But it's every year you keep improving, you keep dedicating yourself more to it. On the start, you don't train enough because you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe that you can do it. The more time you put on it, the more time you spend with Trackmania, not only training the maps but playing the game, loving the game. Just I don't know, you keep getting better and better. You'll say, oh, I reached my peak performance right now, but you keep improving at every single time the more you play it. So I think next year, whichever it is, if it's solos or duos, I think everyone will have more will have yes will be more holy fuck we'll have more interest in trying to qualify because everyone saw how fucking of a mess a cup mode can be and how a cup mode is so fucking rigged. I still dislike it, but it could work better. Maybe changing the points after one finalist is gone, the other points get lowered. So finishing last still always gives you 1 point, no matter if it's 8 players playing or 5 players playing. Some changes could be made in that sense because it always gives too much opportunity for the guys that are denying to come back, and even the guys that are not denying. The guys that are finishing second, third, fourth, fifth in the rounds that someone else denied, they keep getting chances and chances to keep the finalists to get the finalists and finish their finalist attempt too much. So there's always chance for people. It doesn't only depend on skill. Sometimes depends on, as I said a lot on ZRT and every interview or every time I talk with ZeratoR, map pack decides a lot. Your how you feel about the maps, how you feel about everything. There's not only skill based sometimes.
Finally, some questions from the chat here. What is the biggest surprise from this event? He mentioned Scrappy and Bad Lulu going out, but is there any bigger surprises? What is the biggest surprise here?
I think the biggest surprise I had was Brent's performance at the start of his semifinal. It was, and then his comeback, obviously. But yeah, Scrappy and also Wingo and Gwen not qualifying, going through. They were the favorites for the semifinal one. Both of them did not go through. It was the second semifinal. I can't say much because I was basically training everything I could. Yeah, that's it. That's
I think it was overall really close just to get into the grand final, and the grand final was also somewhat close. And I can't really call a big surprise. But I'm just sad for some people that they didn't make it, but also happy for some people that they make it. For example, him and Revolution. But I don't think it was a really big surprise. But yeah.
I guess it would also be like Brent's performance at first in the semifinal, because I was like doing some other things, and then I look at the screen and I see Brent last in the ranking, and I'm like, what's going on? And a few rounds later, still there, and I was wondering what was happening, but then he showed up way more than expected, so it was all nice for him.
For me, the biggest surprise was actually Matt. I think we all remember Plasterex. He was doing so well in all the qualification, and like in the end, he struggled a lot with like the stress management and being in front of the crowd for the first time, and he said that like that caused him some problems. And Matt was like on a stage for the first time of his life, and he performed so well, and he managed the stress so well, and he really outperformed. So for me, that was the biggest surprise, and yeah, I'm very happy that I experienced this live.
Yeah, so I think there are a lot of surprises this year in the ZrT Cup. What I want to mention is that, for example, Yannick's went out in the round of 8, and he really, when I watched his stream, he played so good and out of his mind, as well as we also mentioned is Plastrex and Rezo. That was really unfortunate that he went out. But also, I mean, that you qualified. I was so happy because we were cheering for you. We all like played with you, and we were on the mod chat, and we were like celebrating. That was so good, really, and we were so happy. But I mean, the biggest not disappointment, but like the fail was that Insane just crashed in the last thing. There was like I think we'll still have nightmares from this, and I feel so sorry for this because he had put so much effort in that, and eventually not making it. That was so but those are like some things.
I think from the semi-finals, Ayako and Vosail, they performed really well. Nobody was expecting it, I think. Like we were like,
they had even less votes on their semifinal than me and Rev.
Yeah, they had less votes than everyone, and they were far ahead of Spam and Rollin, like really far ahead, and they had the chance to actually qualify to the grand finals. So that was surprising, but yeah, didn't happen. Not that surprising, I guess.
Just if any questions you guys have, just ask each other. Someone asked when Birkin versus Matt 1v1 on RPG or Trial.
On RPG, Trial I can't do. I can't. Okay, I'm trash. RPG, I could give him a good challenge. When? Oh no.
1v1 me on Red Fox.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm going for some virtual classics lately. So I am very warm. Let's do it right now.
I only play RPGs like when it's the cup.
Yeah,
I
cups.
go away from it all the year. Somehow I still perform.
Yeah. I mean, all the other things you play, they help RPG, so...
Yeah.
it's good for you. Yes.
Do you guys have any questions or just want to answer questions?
No, I would just want to say something.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who are here in the room right now, because everything worked out really good this whole weekend, and we just stayed contacted and just met each other and came along so good. So I really appreciate how the community is, and how, for example, I didn't know you before, but how like well we put you in the group and everything worked out.
We put you in the group.
Yeah, like okay.
I also want to thank ZeratoR and the whole organization of the event. Yeah, at the beginning I was maybe a bit biased. I had maybe a bit like distant opinion. I wasn't extremely positive, but in the end I was surprised how friendly they all were, and like they really welcomed us with an open heart, and yeah, we had such a blast here. Everything was so nice. Everyone was so friendly. Yeah, and they really, I think this is really the best Trackmania event that has ever been made up to this date. So yeah, they really did a good job on this one.
No. No. Yeah, I'm also really happy to see you all and anyone else that is not here in the room, that was maybe playing or just watching. I'm really happy to have met so many people, and it was just so nice to see you all. And yes, now you are.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was gonna add to what Nick Lander said. I don't think there was anything that went wrong yesterday at the event, like from our point of view or from the event's point of view. I don't think anything went wrong other than like minor computer issues. But that always happens, I guess.
Scrappy's PC maybe.
Yes, Scrappy's PC kept freezing. What?
The waiting line for the drinks.
Yeah, waiting in line for drinks.
The waiting lines for VIPs were very long as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had to wait like 10 people or something to get in.
First in the line.
No, people were in front.
A few people were in front of us.
Yeah, a few, but we're still.
Yeah, like up to 10.
Yeah, but I think they are confident in next year's event because of this as well, because they did a really good job, and they have really high goals for the next year's event. For the stage. Should I say what they told me or told
I
us?
don't think it's official.
Yeah.
No, I
okay.
don't say
So
it.
okay, they have big plans.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, if you are debating on going, you should go. I guess I'm working for them now, trying to sell tickets.
Just do donation goal.
Yeah. Okay. It was on me. Yeah, it was on me. Okay, guys.
Dream can ask, aren't you impressed by Wingo's performance in this ZrT Cup? I guess overall then, winning 7 out of 7 in the qualifications, almost making it into the grand final. It was just Gwen who had to finish his finalist attempt. Are you surprised by Wingo?
I think Wingo didn't play the special events, right? He didn't get the extra points, but then he caught up with Gwen after that. Yeah, like he didn't get those 4 rounds of extra points that you can get like 40 points maximum, and he still caught up with everyone else. Like he was, I think, finalist before Gwen, maybe. Yeah, he was really good.
On the start, for example, it was a good example of what even Gwen and Wingo were expecting from each other. Wingo we had to say one word about our partners. For example, I said fast to Revo, and Revo said madman to me. But so Wingo said fast to Gwen, and Gwen just said ragu to Wingo, because that's what everyone knows Wingo does. He never shows up that far. He's just consistent. You don't expect him to be super good. You just expect him to be good. But he performs that well. He won the Zealand and everything. But when he was performing so well. But I think apart from him performing so well, then it kind of the shine on him kind of didn't end up going that well because Gwen underperformed as well. They kind of switched places. Before, Gwen was overperforming on offline online qualifications, and then they just switched places. Wengo overperformed, and sadly Gwen fell to the pressure. I could say it wasn't that different from me and Revo. I was playing shit in all the online qualifications. Yeah. Gwen, fucking video of him playing with 4 years. Holy fuck.
In 4 years.
With 4 years old. 4 years old, playing like full speed maps in rounds and on keyboard, and he was doing fine. He could cancel drifts with 4 years old.
So he's really gifted, right?
Yeah.
Gwen will win the next ZrT Cup. Just kidding, I don't know. But I think he will qualify. I mean, he just said with 4 years. Like, I got my first computer with 15. just to compare, like, that's crazy how much experience he must have. And like, he was like playing on the stage. He was finalist. Like, it was just so close. Everyone could have made it. Everyone deserved it. In the end, it didn't go for them, but he like was playing really well, and maybe he will qualify for the next event again. And I'm really looking forward to anyone who was playing and anyone who didn't qualify. Maybe also Turbo here with us. Maybe he will qualify for the next ZrT Cup. I really hope for him as well to get there. Who knows?
Setting expectations.
No, I just hope. I don't expect you. I expect it to not qualify, but I hope you will do it. Yes.
Yeah, so maybe I'll make it. I'll try my best next year. Yeah, but I mean, I played Gwen in the round of 8, and I think he got like 120 points on beta dirt out of 5 rounds. And Marius and we were like, what the fuck? He can just play on his own. His teammate can go AFK, and it wouldn't even matter. He would get second seed. I think he got like almost 300 points by its own. So that was just insane. He played so good. So I think this is one of the upcoming stars. And just as Matt just said, Ringo is just very consistent and a good player. And as we have seen in the ZLAN, good in like other games as well. So he's like has a wide spectrum, is it called like that in English? I think so, of games. And so he's really good, just in general. Good player.
Oh, Edge, I guess that's his name. XX Edge, XXTM. Did Matt and Revo train the challenges, or was it just full YOLO?
Basically full YOLO. Apart from the day, the blind map, we only decided to train. We trained online, but it was horrible. We had to guess with so much delay. It was impossible. It had to be boot camped, so it was a no for us. You and I, we tried 2 rounds on each person driving on every map we thought could have been played, but we did it super fast, like maybe 30-40 minutes before our match. That was it. And the exchange, that was the only one we trained, but we didn't train exchanging on itself. We just trained the map and tried to be consistent at it. But I guess that was enough. We got 1 round first and second, so yeah.
We have asked about who is the coolest player to meet, or maybe who's the nicest person. But is there someone in Trackmania that is more fun in real life than you expected? Maybe that is Chai on the chat or something. Who is the funniest TM player in real life? Sky asked that question.
Nobody.
Just give the mic if you want to think about it.
I mean, it feels awkward if I say his name, but it actually is like. But it's not only him. Also, Revo and Roland really surprised me how cool they are. I didn't talk to everyone. I gotta say that. I was just talking to like the half of the players, kinda, and I'm really happy to meet like Matt, Roland, and Revo. They were really cool to talk to. I was talking a lot to them over all the last 24 hours, maybe. No, not even 24 hours. Since yesterday evening, basically.
I haven't talked to many players, mostly Matt there. So I guess Matt, because I just heard of him like last year on the cup, and it's really nice to meet some players like that. Yeah.
I just pass.
No funny people.
Yeah, so I've talked to most of the players, but I think I just have to give the prize to Nani because he's really a cool guy. And also Nick, I think we talked once before, but not really that much. But yeah, we got along very good together, and that's what I really appreciate. That everyone is like, yeah, getting good together.
Yeah, we already said. I think at least I already said everything, so I don't want to repeat myself over again.
Yeah, and also NMD is a cool guy. I mean,
Thank you for doing all of this, man.
Yeah, thank you. And Birkin is a pleb.
Wow. I don't want to be controversial, but I think everyone here is same as online as they're in real life, which is a new thing, I guess, in the world. Because it used to be like you have a different personality online, and in real life you would be so much different. But I think everyone here is like accurate.
They're just being on their own.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying nobody's funny, but you know they aren't funnier in real life.
Some people, like myself, when I enter my first. Hey. Okay, when I entered my first offline event, which was Giant Cup in September of last year, I was surprised about how people looked in real life. I expected most of them to be actually 10 centimeters taller on average. But is there someone that surprised you how they looked in real life? Maybe you expected them to be a lot taller, a lot smaller, maybe a lot slimmer, a lot fatter. Is there anybody who surprised you how they looked in real life?
I guess I thought Reva was way taller, according to pictures. I never had seen Funny Bear in my life, so it was pretty cool to meet him as well. Who I also thought Spam was taller. What else surprised me? Yeah.
So I was surprised how Roland looks. Like I didn't really had a picture of TMGL. Like there was a picture, I never saw it, to be honest. And I just thought he's looking differently a bit. Same with Revo, and I thought also Spam is taller, as you already mentioned, or was it him? Or yeah. Like I'm just like, it is a little bit different here and there, but Scrappy looks exactly the same as he does in his stream.
I guess, well, not one of the player like was on stage, but like Coco was taller than I expected. Nice and like the football and then at the event. So yeah.
I expected Matt to be a fucking grizzly bear, but I mean, I expected him to be like 2 meters, like a huge guy. I don't know why, but like by looking at his photos, he seemed like so fucking big. I mean, in the end, he is quite. He's a strong guy, definitely. But I expected him to be like, I don't know. I expected him to be like 2 meters high. But yeah, yeah. I think that was the biggest surprise for me.
So NMD, I thought you were a bit smaller. But, yeah, I bet. I mean, no, you're not. No, you're not fat. You're not fat. But I think the majority of the Trackmania people are like kind of small, actually. I mean, there's Coco, as you have mentioned, who's like a giant, but the rest, I mean, yeah. And I thought you were small as well, like only one. You're one. Yeah, I thought you're like 180 in my height.
Well, yeah, people said I look way taller. Spam was very shocked, I think. He was like, what the fuck? Wait, let me go around. Dude, wait, no. I saw NMD from the interviews, and he's always sitting, so he doesn't look that big, but
That's the reason why.
Yeah. So yeah, him.
Aster is taller than expected. I didn't have to lean to see his face.
The last question I have, at least, if not anymore from the chat, I'm gonna close it. But I'm stealing this from Scotty's stream. He said after GA or before GA, I guess, if there was like a Hunger Games in Trackmania, who would win it? Who would win the ZrT editions of Hunger Games? Who's the last man standing? We are supposed to kill each other.
Like actual Hunger Games. I'm passing this.
Or- yeah, from every player that qualified or just the TM community in general. So is, for example, Birkin allowed to be mentioned?
Birkin is allowed to be mentioned. Everybody.
No, I'm not gonna mention you, but like just to like know about the community. Yeah, do you have an idea? Anyone has an idea right now?
I guess I would say NMD because it's too tall and big, so like he would just destroy everybody else, I guess. So.
It's obviously going to be a Hellfest. No, of course not. No, it's going to be a tie. It's going to be a fight of titans between Matt and Plasterex.
Now I was tend to pick Plasterix as well, but I will go with Mr. 5 million IQ Marius. Yeah.
From the corner.
I think it's Nick Lander. Yeah, he would just wait until the end, and then just strike from the shadows, I guess.
The stumbling enemy, like
Yeah.
Ziza would win everything, but Ziza would not participate, if you know what I mean. So I would win because the Hunger Game is about not eating, and I haven't eaten since this morning. Everybody can know it. Like, you know it, you both. I want to eat. And this stream.
I have an answer now. So I would go for Spam, just because he's not that tall as I thought, and he's maybe flink enough to dodge some. Yeah.
Needs food all the time. He can't survive.
So I think he could make it, but also NMD could like make it. I don't know, maybe Matt, just because no one wants to attack him.
You're all forgetting the real winner is Killer John or John the Killer, Draconia John. If you've seen him, I will look fucking small next to him.
Really?
Yeah,
Was he there?
yeah. He's at every event.
I knew he was at the step, but I didn't see him anywhere there.
Okay, last chance to get a question here. Is there anybody here who has a question? No. 10 seconds.
Like Irish.
Matt look Irish.
Someone keeps asking
Sure.
why,
I don't know how do Irish people look.
Only like red hair, so I don't know.
I have red hair in my beard. Is that enough?
Okay, I guess this is it. Bye bye, guys. Was fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.